Sister Wives, Kody and Robyn Brown's biggest lie finally exposed, the hidden truth about their real love story. The Brown family from TLC's Sister Wives has consistently asserted that their lives are based on faith, family, and honesty. However, as time has passed, the foundation's flaws have become increasingly evident. From secret resentments to shattered marriages, what began as a portrayal of harmonious polygamy has evolved into a slow-motion implosion of trust. Now, after more than a decade on air, a new and unsettling revelation has surfaced, one that redefines the origin story of the most controversial couple in the Brown family, Kody and Robyn Brown. The two have long insisted that they met in a wholesome, church-based setting and that their courtship was guided by divine inspiration. But insiders and fans alike are saying otherwise. According to recent claims, Kody didn't meet Robyn through faith or family connections. Instead, he met her while working a sales job at a mall in St. George, Utah, and she wasn't an innocent church acquaintance. Allegedly, Robyn was Kody's mistress, his escape from midlife crisis and dissatisfaction with his existing wives. If true, this revelation doesn't just rewrite their love story, it exposes how the very foundation of Sister Wives was built on deception. Let's unravel the full picture, layer by layer, from how the lie began to why it mattered so much to their public image, and how fans have finally caught up with the truth. The fairy tale story fans were told. When Sister Wives premiered on TLC in 2010, viewers were introduced to a large, smiling family that seemed to embody the ideals of faith-based plural marriage. Kody Brown, a charismatic father of 13 at the time, was married to 3 women, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, and about to introduce a fourth, Robyn. The show's early episodes carefully constructed a narrative around Robyn's entrance into the family. Kody claimed he met her at church, describing it as a spiritual spark that he couldn't ignore. The story went that Meri had actually introduced them, and the two couples spent time together before Kody felt called to pursue Robyn as his next wife. It all sounded neat, even romantic, a divine meeting in a wholesome environment, filled with mutual respect and spiritual connection. The story portrayed Kody as a man guided by faith rather than lust and Robyn as a single mother seeking a godly family. That version of events became the official Sister Wives origin story. TLC framed it as a story of destiny, not desire. Viewers were meant to see Robyn as Kody's missing piece, a woman who brought emotional depth and structure to an already complex family. But behind the camera, the truth might have been far less sacred. The real story, a mall encounter, not a church meeting. Reports that have recently resurfaced, along with comments from individuals close to the Browns, indicate that Kody and Robyn's meeting was not as divinely coincidental as previously reported. Instead, they reportedly crossed paths at a mall in St. George, Utah, where Kody was working in sales. She wasn't a church acquaintance, one insider claimed. She was someone Kody met while he was trying to sell something. They hit it off. She was interested in him, and he was going through a midlife crisis. That's how it started. In this version, Kody's nephew allegedly went as far as to call Robyn his uncle's mistress, claiming that the entire premise of Sister Wives, the introduction of a new wife, was actually a cover for Kody's personal infatuation. It's an explosive claim, but it lines up with long-standing fan suspicions. From the beginning, Robyn's storyline felt oddly polished and convenient. The idea that TLC would have passed on a show featuring 3 wives and a middle-aged husband struggling with finances isn't hard to believe. Adding Robyn, the young, attractive single mom with a redemption arc, instantly gave producers the hook they needed. If the mall story is true, it means that the entire show's launch was built on an altered timeline designed to make Kody and Robyn's relationship palatable for a national audience. Why the lie worked so well for TLC? Television thrives on image, not authenticity. The producers behind Sister Wives understood that if the show was to survive, it needed a compelling story, one that balanced controversy with wholesomeness. If Kody had simply admitted that he met Robyn while flirting at the mall during a midlife slump, the series would have started off with scandal instead of spirituality. The church meeting narrative, on the other hand, softened the edges. It gave viewers permission to root for them. TLC transformed their perceived infidelity into a divine destiny by linking their relationship to faith. Robyn became the chosen one, a woman sent to bring emotional healing and spiritual balance to a fractured household. The irony, of course, is that the arrival of Robyn did the opposite. The fallout, Robyn's arrival and the family divide. When Robyn entered the Brown family, things changed immediately and irreversibly. At first, Kody's wives tried to welcome her. Meri, who had supposedly introduced them, seemed to feel proud of being the one to open the door. Janelle was cautious but polite. Christine, however, sensed trouble from the start. In later seasons, Christine openly admitted that Robyn's courtship made her feel like a basement wife, an afterthought in Kody's growing empire of affection. She noticed how differently he treated Robyn, how attentive, romantic, and protective he became. The contrast was painful. And the cracks widened fast. As Robyn took on a more dominant emotional role, the other wives began to feel increasingly sidelined. Viewers watched as Christine's confidence waned, Janelle retreated into quiet independence, and Meri's marriage disintegrated into awkward friendship. The man who once preached equality among wives began prioritizing one above all. The soulmate narrative, justification or obsession. Throughout the show, Kody has repeatedly called Robyn his soulmate. In confessionals, he said she's the only one who truly understands him, that she brings calm and clarity to his chaotic life. Robyn echoes that sentiment. She has described Kody as the man she was meant to be with, the husband she prayed for. Their chemistry on screen was undeniable, but so was the imbalance it created. If the new claims about their meeting are true, this soulmate narrative becomes much darker. It suggests that Kody's so-called divine connection was actually born out of midlife dissatisfaction and emotional escapism. In other words, it wasn't destiny, it was distraction. Kody's midlife crisis, the perfect storm. To understand why the alleged mall encounter fits so well, you have to look at where Kody was emotionally around that time. Before Robyn came along, he was a man under pressure, multiple households, financial strain, emotional exhaustion, and a need to prove that his lifestyle worked. A charismatic man in crisis is fertile ground for impulsive choices. Meeting Robyn, a younger, attractive woman who admired his confidence and shared some religious beliefs, would have felt like renewal. If she validated his ego, soothed his insecurities, and reignited his sense of control, it's easy to see why he became obsessed. But instead of dealing with it privately, Kody did what he's always done, he turned it into a spectacle. Bringing Robyn into the family was not just a romantic decision, but also a strategic power move. It let him rebrand his personal midlife crisis as spiritual progression. And when TLC offered to document it, it became the ultimate justification. Why fans always suspected something was off. Even before the recent revelation, longtime viewers of Sister Wives were skeptical about the official story. For years, fans have pointed out inconsistencies in Kody and Robyn's timelines, questioning how quickly their relationship escalated. Robyn's demeanor during early episodes also raised eyebrows. While she spoke often about faith and unity, her behavior suggested calculation. She positioned herself as the emotional center of the family, aligning with Kody in ways the other wives never could. Many fans have speculated that Robyn entered the family not through divine intervention, but through determination, that she wanted Kody long before cameras rolled. Now, the confirmation that their meeting story might be a fabrication validates those suspicions. The mistress allegation, how it changes everything. The word mistress carries weight. It implies secrecy, infidelity, and emotional betrayal, all things that Kody and Robyn have publicly denied for over a decade. If Robyn truly began as Kody's mistress, it reframes everything that followed. Meri's emotional breakdowns become less about insecurity and more about betrayal. Christine's eventual departure looks like survival, not rebellion. Janelle's quiet resistance becomes a form of dignity. It also raises a question about the family's moral code. For years, Kody used religious principles to justify his behavior and control his household. But if his relationship with Robyn began outside those principles, his entire foundation collapses. He wasn't living polygamy for faith, he was living it for convenience. The nephew's statement, a family whistleblower. Kody's nephew was reportedly one of the first people to call out the truth. His comment that the show was about Kody acclimating his mistress into the family has now resurfaced, and it perfectly captures the irony of Sister Wives. From the first episode, the show wasn't about plural marriage, it was about Kody rewriting his own story to make it acceptable. His nephew's bluntness cuts through the spin, revealing what many have suspected, that Sister Wives was always a PR operation disguised as faith. Robyn's silence and Kody's defensiveness. Since these revelations started circulating, neither Kody nor Robyn has publicly addressed the allegations. This silence is quite telling. Kody has often deflected criticism by accusing fans and ex-wives of misunderstanding him. Robyn, meanwhile, tends to dissolve into tears whenever the topic of her reputation comes up. Her emotional fragility has become her shield, deflecting scrutiny while maintaining sympathy. But at this point, the silence feels less like restraint and more like avoidance. Fans aren't asking for drama, they're asking for honesty. And after so many years of manipulation, that's something the Browns seem incapable of offering. What this episode means for the future of Sister Wives. If the Robyn and Kody origin story is false, it leaves TLC with a dilemma. The network built its brand around authenticity, real people living real lives. TLC would suffer a serious blow if it revealed that one of its longest-running shows was based on a lie. It also puts the show's future in jeopardy. With Meri, Janelle, and Christine gone, there's little left to explore beyond Kody and Robyn's insulated world. If the public no longer believes their story, the emotional core of Sister Wives disintegrates. Still, drama sells. And ironically, this scandal might keep viewers watching out of curiosity, to see how long Kody and Robyn can keep the facade going. The lesson hidden in the lie. At its heart, this isn't just a story about deception. It's about the lengths people will go to preserve an image. Kody and Robyn's alleged lie reflects something deeply human, the fear of losing control over one's narrative. In Kody's case, admitting he met Robyn outside the bounds of faith would mean confronting his hypocrisy. For Robyn, it would mean giving up her carefully curated image as the obedient, spiritual wife. Together, they've spent years defending an illusion that has now begun to crumble. And perhaps that's what Sister Wives has always been about, not love or religion, but control, image, and denial. The public verdict. Fans are no longer shocked by Kody and Robyn's behavior. The once sympathetic couple has become the face of manipulation, emotional favoritism, and self-delusion. Online discussions show little pity for them now. Viewers who once rooted for their love story now see it as the very thing that destroyed the family. For Christine and Janelle, who walked away, vindication has arrived. For Meri, who lingered too long in Kody's shadow, the truth only deepens the sadness. The general consensus is simple: the lie didn't need to happen. If Kody and Robyn had been honest from the beginning, fans might have accepted their story for what it was, a messy, human love that broke the rules. Instead, by turning it into a moral fairy tale, they set themselves up for exposure. Final thoughts: the end of the illusion. Kody and Robyn Brown's carefully crafted origin story was never about faith, it was about survival. They needed a narrative that justified their choices and made them marketable. And for a while, it worked. But lies have a shelf life. After 14 years, the truth has finally caught up. The mall encounter, the mistress's whispers, the nephew's blunt statement, all of it paints a picture of a man and woman who built their empire on half-truths and self-delusion. In the end, the soulmates may still have each other, but their spiritual story has lost its magic. What remains is a cautionary tale about ambition, image, and the price of pretending.